USY, Delta Mike 06. KM6SRR. Rob, are you around? K6USY.
K6USY, KM6SR is down there trying to get a fire going, Aaron. Go ahead.
No worries. I'm still at my in-laws. I'm remoted into my 9700 on my vertical, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the stream is up and running, and go ahead and check me in.
Okay, Roger, Roger. Well, got you checked in there. Yeah, I heard you on the other net that you were at your in-laws there having a good party. So, and I understand it's a good game. Tied up, gone into overtime. Over.
Yep, it's tied up, but regardless, we still got to get the kids home, so we're going to get in the car here in a couple minutes. So just check me in with Mike, and we'll...
Okay, no hurry. You got streaming going. We're all set. Thank you. K6USY, KM6SR, standing by.
Alrighty, thanks, Rob. K6USY on the remote.
to WA6LOL. football during the year. I could care less. I do watch the Super Bowl if I'm in the room, but after all, looks like Kansas City just won it.
Testing.
Okay, go ahead and test all you want. What was the call? What was your call sign? K6NYC Bozo Net.
K6NYC, good evening. This is Jim in Porterville, KJ6KK. First time on the net after getting a horizontal antenna. Well, I've been checked in a few times over the years, but I just got a horizontal beam up, and it sure sounds better tonight. Yeah, that's rewarding.
Good, Jim. Do you have a Bozo number?
I do. I forgot to look it up. I don't remember it right now.
Okay, well, we'll get Robert will be in here in a few minutes. KM6SRR, he's down grabbing a little dinner. I didn't want to start the net while the Super Bowl was still going because so many people are watching the Super Bowl. Congratulations at Kansas City Chiefs. They pulled it out. It went into it went into overtime. It was quite a game. I don't know. Did you watch the game?
That was really something. Sitting on the edge of my seat, literally. San Francisco really played a really good game through the whole game. They made fewer blunders and just really played well. Mahomes always has that come through at the last and with fire and brimstone, and he did it again tonight.
I heard you, Ron. Stand by.
Which Ron is it?
QUI.
Okay. Hi, Ron. Good evening. Stand by, Ron. We're picking up anybody in Lake Isabella or in Bakersfield at the moment. We'll be right with you. I've got you logged in. W6QUI, 11:55. And good evening, Frank. We didn't win, but it was a good game. You can't really fault anybody. Everybody did a good job. I got a cat climbing all over radios and everything else here. I disappeared from the frequency. You guys don't know why. Let me see if I can lock this thing.
Hey, Mike, KM6SR here. What was the call sign of the gentleman in Porterville? Over.
Yeah, I can't tell. Jim, give us your call sign again, and you might peek the antenna on me because you took a pretty deep fade to the middle, which means you're not really peaked on us there. So give us another call, Jim in Porterville, or in Visalia, Porterville. K6MYC. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm 792 KJ6KK in Porterville. And the beam is headed due north.
Well, you shouldn't be beaming north. You should be beaming at about 3:30.
Probably so, but I've got hills in the way. I'm beaming it at a low spot in the hills to get through there, and just hoping I can squeeze it through and let it bend around the hills or something. But if I go at 3:30, I'll be aiming it right at the hill, so I'm not sure how that would work.
You mean you've got hills to the west of you?
To the northwest.
Weird. Okay. Do you have a rotator on the antenna, and what is the antenna?
I just picked it up from a ham buddy in town here. He's moving to Idaho. 13, looking up Central Valley stuff, but in California. Bozo 58.
I didn't get any of that. You got covered up by a station in Los Angeles. W6PMD 58. K6MYC Bozo 47. Good evening, Pat.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Yeah, I didn't hear who you were talking to. W6PMD number 58. We got you on the log down here.
Yeah, very good. There's probably others. Frank is in here. Frank, are you running power?
Yeah, Roger, kilowatt.
Can you hear? Pat in there?
Yeah, he's a murmur in here. I catch a word now and again.
Oh, okay. How about you, Rob?
Roger, here, loud and clear. How you doing, Pat? W6PMD. This is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo. Good evening.
Good evening, Rob. Yeah, got you in there nice and loud, too. Mike started out about S9. You're about S7, S8 here, and good conditions. We're going to look up towards the eastern Sierras here in a couple minutes and see if we can catch a couple more up that way. But I'll look in this direction if there's anybody else that wants a check-in.
Roger. My number 432, over.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I recall your number.
Roger that. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, anybody else for Pat in DM13 there? Nobody at the moment, Pat.
Okay, I could hear Frank in there, but he was really weak, about a 2x2.
Well, it'll come up for him. He just peaks at different times. He's 15 miles north and 1,000 feet higher than me, over.
Oh, yeah, copy that. Okay, well, I'm gonna look up towards Lone Pine here before John goes to bed, and I'll be back this way and listen up till the end. Thanks, Mike. K6MYC W6PMD.
Roger, very good, Pat. And Jim, back to you, and tell me again what the antenna was, and do you have a rotator under it? KJ6. For some reason, I should remember the call. I wrote it down, and then I can't read it my own writing because I'm blind. What was the antenna, and the do you have a rotor? Jim, KJ6 in Porterville. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't hear me anymore, Mike. KJ6KK, KM6SR calling. Mike. I only hear Pat off the side there. Over.
I can hear Pat off the side. Let's look for W6 KB6 whiskey. No, KB6K. What's Rick's call? KB6RQU. Go ahead, Rick. I don't hear Rick. How about N6SWR? Ben, are you there?
WB6JNP.
Oh, boy, are you weak. You must be pointed in the wrong direction or something. Rick, you're way, way, way down. Just barely audible, but I got your 61. KB6RQU, K6MYC. Go ahead again.
KB6RQU, coming back around your way. I was trying to get WXP and D. See if I can get checked in down south. Over.
Okay, very good.
Low pricing out there, low minus direct, W16.
Good evening, Rick. KB6RQU, Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo Romeo, over.
Yeah, KB6RQU. Good evening, Rob. Hey, you guys, I'm not going to be on as often now for a little while, over.
You say you're going to be off?
Yeah, I won't be around for a little while, over. For a while, anyway.
Okay. You got to send radios out for repair, or what you doing?
Just things here at home changing, over.
Okay, got it. Well, we'll keep an ear out for you. Try to check in whenever you can. Thanks for being there tonight, Rick. KB6RQU. We'll look for you tomorrow night on 6 if you can make it, and then Wednesday and Thursday, of course. KB6RQU. How about N6SWR? Ben, are you there?
Looking for 7-Eleven, Lone Pine Sports.
I hear 7-Eleven in there. By the way, Dane, I did get you WB6JNP 107. You're checked in, Dane. It's just heavy traffic right now in the other direction here.
QSL.
971.
One more try.
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox.
Independence, W16D, Bozo 58, looking your way.
Kilo 6, Victor Bravo Golf 971, check in.
I got you, Dave. Hang on. A lot of people checking in. You must not be hearing half of them. K6BBG, we've got you, Dave, 971, and KG6 Charlie Echo Fox, we've got you, Daryl. Good signal from both of you. I assume that you guys were watching the Super Bowl like I was, over.
Hi, Roger.
Traffic out here, fellas.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing.
Well, yeah, that's because we live out here. We were hoping for, anybody could have won that. There was a few breaks that went the wrong way. And I think San Francisco just had more injuries. They had a problem with attrition toward the end, and they weren't able to make the stops that they could make earlier. They had a lot of injuries on the team, and they were pretty beat up already. Tebow and all those guys were pretty well damaged, so they weren't playing up to par. But they did good. I mean, they really hung in there, and they could have won it. They just couldn't stop that last drive. And they made a couple of... the other guys played well at the end. They had the steam in the legs, and the 49ers didn't. Over. You can't fault anybody. So everybody tried hard, and it was a damn good game, and it sure could have gone anyway.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, it was definitely a different game.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right, well, let's see. Is there anybody else down south? Jim, KJ6 Kilo. Did you go away, or what happened to you, Jim? We don't hear you right now. We've been calling, Jim. Over. I don't understand why he jumped out. I just told him I couldn't copy his last transmission. He was covered, which he was. Sometimes Pat gets up to 5 and 9, and he'll cover about anybody here. So he shouldn't feel bad about that. Anyway, I asked him if he had a rotator and what the antenna was that he got from a friend, but he didn't. I don't think he knew what it was. But if he could describe it, then we can figure out what he has, perhaps by element count and how the elements are mounted and things like that.
Maybe you went outside to look at it, KM6SRR.
Well, he should be back by now. KJ6 Kilo Kilo in Porterville, K6MYC, over. Well, hope he didn't get disappointed. Can't be disappointed with that easy. Just because you got stepped on, I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I couldn't copy what he said. I just told him what happened. Okay. One last call on 6SWR, Ben. Hey, nothing from Ben. I guess anybody else in the San Joaquin Valley before we go to Atascadero, over? Okay, all quiet. Atascadero, here we come. And good evening to you, Frank. How did your day go overall?
Good evening, Mike, and everybody else. The day went fairly well, considering. Oh, that's what I'm hearing, the rotor. I was like, what is that noise all of a sudden? I just started the rotor going. Yeah, the day went fairly well. I did get the third inverter is installed, so I now have 9 kilowatts of power here. That's all installed and operational. And what else did I get done? I did some other things. Oh, you know, of all days, something happened in this last storm. Our TV antenna quit working. I spent half the day working on that and got us back to good enough TV so we could at least watch the game. And I got some other things done, but I'm so tired, Mike, and I can't think right now. Only thing I didn't accomplish was unloading the trailer, over.
Yeah, okay. What'd you find on the TV antenna?
Ultimately, I got the old antenna out, which was just sitting over here by my trailer, and I've got it sitting on top of a ladder, and the first run of coax is not long enough, and there's a barrel connector and then a long run to go up the hill, and I'm just tied up there sitting on top of the ladder right now just to get it to work to watch the game today, over.
Okay, you didn't find the problem with the other one?
Nope, I had the antenna down, didn't take it off the mast, but everything looked good. The cable I thought was good, but I'll go back after it when I have more time. As it was, I was still fussing with it at kickoff.
Oh, goody. I was out cutting wood right up to the last minute also. Okay, very good. Let's go to Atascadero and see. Atascadero, W6QUI, I'm pointed your way now, Ron. And you can tell us whether you can, you have Eric on frequency, KN6EIV, W6QUI, K6MYC, over.
Okay, K6MYC, W6QUI. By the way, my Bozo was 1055, not 1155, as you mentioned. Eric's out of the country. He's in New Zealand at the moment. Due back Wednesday, I believe. We won't be hearing from him probably not till possibly Sunday again. I've been working on my antennas, high winds, and took my fan dipole down. A very heavy-duty telescoping mast and bent it in the middle. Bent it almost 180. I've been busy trying to. I got the mast repaired today. The antennas, some of them are broken, and they're just wire antennas, but they're full size on 160, 80, and 40, which I usually use on HF. But I still got some other ones that work there, so I'm not completely off the air. I'm enjoying the nice, clear, calm, sunny weather. Give me plenty of time to get everything going again, I think. And I had a nice visit from Bill, AA6S, the other day, he and his wife. So I enjoyed that very much. Well, anyway, things have been going good over here finally. P6MYC, W6QUI. Just for a second, Bill, are you around tonight?
We haven't heard Bill or WA6AHA yet.
Yeah, I guess Bill isn't there. I guess I'm the Lone Ranger again.
What did you say the mast was that you had that bent? Why did it bend? You didn't have anything up there but wires. How would it bend?
Yes, it supports the apex of my fan dipole. I have 3 full-size dipoles on top of that thing. They're not quite inverted V's, but they're sloping. Let's put it that way. And the wind took that thing and bent the top section right in the middle. We had 70-mile-an-hour winds here, so it did some other damage. Trees are down, and fortunately, my tower and beams all survived, and the big loop antenna, 160-meter loop, survived just fine. So, but that thing took a hit. The big problem is a tree fell across 3 of the antenna wires, and that's probably what pulled it down. Over.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine wind would have pulled it. The antennas don't have any force other than if the wires get yanked, and that sounds like what happened there. Okay, well, that's too bad, but good to know you got it fixed anyway. Very good. Anybody else want to say hello to Ron before we move on? K6MYC.
Yeah, how you doing, Ron? W6QUI, this is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo, over.
Oh, yeah, good evening, Rob. Good signal as usual. Oh, hope nobody sustained it. Did you get high winds like that over there, or was it just on the coast? I'm just curious about that.
No, a couple of days ago we had some winds a little bit, not real high, but no, it's been pretty calm here lately. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, well, we probably saw some in the 30 to 40 range, but that isn't something that even raised my eyebrow. But it did knock over a ladder or two that I had leaning against the building, and just very minor little things like that. Just moved a few things in the yard. No biggie. Wasn't any serious wind here, but they did have pretty nasty stuff over in Sacramento. 66 to 70 mile an hour winds through Sacramento in that area. N6RO in Oakley sustained a little damage from with his big array system there with his contest station. But they had 70 mile an hour winds as well. All right, Ron, 7-3, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Well, we won't catch you tomorrow. You don't have 222 or 6 meters. We'll look for you again on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll hear you this time. We did not hear anything from you on Tuesday, but we assumed that you were busy with Bill or something. Over.
I was not on last Tuesday.
Okay. That's probably good, because we would have been very disappointed if I had heard you.
Okay, well, 7-3's over there.
7-3, yeah, Ron. Maybe you'll be on this Tuesday, though?
Roger, Roger.
Okay, and Eric's still be back in about a week, you said?
He should be back Wednesday, but it'll probably take him a few days to get things organized, and it probably won't be till Sunday that we hear him on here.
What's he doing down in New Zealand? Just a vacation, or did he have some relatives or something down there?
No, he's actually on a hike, a 50-mile hike with a group, and he and his wife both go. They've been training for it every day they can around here. I think they walk every trail that exists in the county here in training for it. So apparently it's a pretty strenuous deal. So I'm anxious to hear all about it when he gets back. And it's in, I think it's in Tasmania or something, where they have all the bad things that you don't want to get bit by.
Yeah, well, that's not New Zealand, but that's more VK and Australia, but Tasmania, yeah, that has not a lot of good things in Tasmania, from what I understand.
That's right. Yeah, he's a little concerned about that. So he's a very careful hiker. So let's hope he doesn't have any problems.
Yeah, let's hope so. All right, very good. We're going to move on and see who else is in here. Thank you, Ron, and catch up with you. Glad you were able to check in tonight. W6QUI, K6MYC. Anybody else? And we're going to the Bay Area. Live streaming is hearing my rotor noise. I'm sure of that. Okay, WA6 London, India, Echo, WA6LIE. I wonder if you're there tonight, Scott. WA6LIE, K6MYC, calling and listening. I heard W6 and then it faded out. Who was the other one?
W6.
Okay, two people at once there. It sounded like K6ERF and W6PQL. Am I right? Oh. Who did I hear? Give me calls again. You guys doubled on each other and I didn't get either call.
It was W6DEN.
Oh, okay, Dan, I'm way off of you. Can you wait a few minutes, Dan, or do we? Are you going to go away? Go ahead. W6DEN, K6MYC, over. He's in Auburn or something, Rob. I don't know why he's not hearing us.
Maybe it was an airplane or something. He was really loud, and I don't hear him.
Yeah, and there was two stations in there checked in, and I'm not hearing either one of them. Now they're not responding. Come on, guys. Give me some call signs.
You gave a call to DEN, not to me. WB6JNN.
Oh, maybe that's who we heard. WB6JNN. Good evening, Jim. How was your day?
Pretty good. It was a nice day today. The cats were in most of the day because of all the Super Bowl parties around the neighborhood, so they decided, we'll stay inside where it's nice and warm and not quite so noisy.
Okay. You mean you have noisy outdoor Super Bowl parties, for heaven's sake?
East side of San Jose, hey?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's not
yours as well.
Not like I used to remember it. The East Side was always pretty quiet.
Yeah, well, there's also Chinese New Year, so we get the, chasing the devil's away firecracker packages too.
The Dragon Boys, huh?
You're the Dragon. There you go. By the way, I got my 220 transverter and I tested it out. Seems to work. I haven't really done more than that, so I should be on tomorrow night. WB6JNN.
Oh, very good. Were you going to send us a used one, an older one, or was it somebody else that was sending us a 222 transverter?
Well, that would be me. I don't think I ever got exactly where to send it. Maybe I did.
Well, you can send it to my location or just send it to the plant attention mic. That's all you have to do, over.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. I'll just send the whole box. You guys can do whatever you want.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll probably have Ken look at it. It's got something, it needs input circuitry repair, or so you burned up some input resistors or something?
Yeah, well, whatever switching you need. If you're using it as a beacon, I guess you don't need one, except you got to get it in the transmit position, by jumpering something probably. And then put whatever attenuator gets it down to a couple of milliwatts of drive, I think is what the actual board takes.
Okay, it doesn't have a key line, a key to ground line?
Yeah, it has a key to ground line, but you have to drive it with something.
So we've got key to ground line, and we're going to drive it with the output of a 2-meter rig, over.
Okay, well, you'll have to do some changing of crystals for that.
I know, you've got a 10-meter thing. We may use it on 10 meters. We have another radio that we could use if it has a 10-meter IF.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll get that sent to the plant then.
Very good, Jim. We really appreciate it. The other two beacons, I think, are functional. Frank had a little storm damage and lost a couple of solar panels and had to rewire some batteries and this and that and the other thing. And but I think he's got the beacons running on 432 and 2 meters, at least in the daytime now, between 7 and 5 in the afternoon, over.
Yeah, okay, very good.
Yeah, I could have used a 220 beacon today to try to figure out things. I don't hear the one that's up north of me here because it's too many mountains away. It's like two ridges. And I get the one up on 2 meters up in the top of the San Francisco Bay fine on 400 megs, but there's two more mountain ranges between me and the other one.
Oh, who is the other one? You're not thinking of KJ6KO, are you?
Yeah, right. I guess he had one at some time.
Yeah, no, it's not up there anymore. It's non-functional. It went away over a year ago.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I couldn't hear it anyway. Even the 2 meter one's not very strong to me because of the mountains in between. I have a picture of the two mountain ranges between that location and where I live. I don't remember where I got it, maybe Google Earth or something, but it's definitely obscured.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. I mean, I could hear the JJ6KO beacon down here okay. It would fade a lot up and down, but it never went out.
The mountain is on the edge of the valley, so I'm sure it goes that way fine. Nothing between you and it.
I see. Okay. So it just wasn't getting into the Bay Area very well. All right. Well, anyway, we'll have something up as soon as yours gets here, and we decide. We'll probably put it, before we order a crystal, we'll probably set it up for a 10 meter IF to get it going and work the bugs out, and then we'll order the right crystal so that we end up on with 144, 275 in, we come out on 222.275, over.
Yeah, whatever it takes. You might even just use a triplet or a crystal on the right frequency. All right, anyway, that's the story here. WB6J in it.
All right, thank you, Jim. Not pointed anywhere near you. That's why you're very strong tonight. I'm surprised. Where am I pointed here? I'm 270. Let's see if Tom was in here. K6. I never did hear WA6LIE, Scott, or KW6S. Tom, are you here?
K6MYC, KW6S. Yep, I'm here.
Okay, and I haven't stood by yet for Lee.
Mike 6, Sierra Romeo.
I double with you, Rob.
I'm sorry, just giving a shout out to Tom. How you doing, Tom? KW6S, KM6SRR.
KM6SRR, KW6S. Oh, yeah, you're doing really respectable there, and I'm having a quiet weekend in Santa Cruz here. And, yeah, you do sound really good tonight.
All right, you're sounding good, too. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, let me just take standby. I thought maybe I heard somebody underneath Tom there. WA6LIE. Scott, are you there? Scott indicated to me, Rob, and others that he may be more intermittent lately. He's going to have to move. He's moving his home QTH. The remote base is going to stay where it is, I think, but he's moving, so he's going to be discombobulated and probably unable to run the remote base from his location until he gets settled into a new location. Apparently he's lived in this spot for 20 years, and all of a sudden the landlord said, we want you to leave, we want to raise the rent and make more money off the property, and if you're not willing to pay us twice as much or whatever that you've been paying, then we got to kick you out, over.
Well, that's kind of harsh, huh?
Well, I guess goes with the times, doesn't it?
Yep, I thought to certain places you're not allowed to do that, over.
Well, not here, I think. But, you know, there's a point where perhaps the property taxes and other things have gotten to the point where and if there's a loan on the property, maybe the interest rates have changed. I don't know. All I know is that he was asked to leave. So he mentioned that to me the other day. Anyway, Tom, it's good to hear you. You're good and solid, and you're not going to move, so we'll be all right with you. Let's see if we can get Lee in here. KB6 Lima Echo Echo K6MYC. Oh, I don't hear Lee. What did you find out with this quad? Did you guys work on it at all over the last 3-4 days?
No, we didn't. I haven't been around that. My wife had some surgery, so I've been kind of away from the radio for a few days. Yeah, we did some testing after it didn't seem to work Thursday night, and when he had it pointed at me, it does seem to have a pretty sharp pattern. Although I don't know what the shape of it was, but when it was pointed at me at one point, he also had a mag mount mobile antenna on a piece of metal in the rafters of his garage, and they were essentially the same signal.
Oh, that's not good.
No, not even counting for the vertical to horizontal there either. So I don't know what the next step is going to be on that.
Well, if it had a pattern, maybe it's just a feed line issue, and maybe he's got a piece of feed line with 15 or 20 dB of loss over.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. And he was talking about some little SWR glitches, which I didn't quite understand, that were popping up from time to time. And he was considering maybe there was a open connector somewhere, or, as you say, it could be a bad piece of feed line or a bad connector somewhere.
Sounds like a short in the connector, one end to the other. A short.
Yeah, I guess it maybe just every once in a while he watches on the meter and it rises up. For a while it was kicking it out of kicking the transmitter off, but I don't think that's happening anymore. I think he's got about 50 feet of RG8X, which at 432 I would not expect any SWR problems.
Well, no, if it's good, it's 50 ohm cable, but it's terribly lossy.
Yeah, so even if it's bad, I don't think you'd see a high SWR.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't. Okay, well, he's got something that he's missing there. Sometimes, I got the impression sometimes he gets worried about things that doesn't need to worry about, and he's missing things that he should be worried about. It's just lack of experience, he's new at it, so that's to be expected. Okay, very good, Tom. Anyway, anybody else for Tom before we move into the Bay Area and finish up there? K6MYC Bozo Net.
K6MYC, KJ6MQI.
Yeah, KJ6. Is it Mike Queen Italy or November Queen Italy?
No, you got it right. Mike Queen Italy.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, Jared here. Hey, great to hear you, Mike, again. Super Bowl night. I'm not a big football fan, but I'll say congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Sounds like it's their 4th Super Bowl win, so that's pretty impressive. Over.
Well, it could have gone either way. It was a very good, evenly played game. I think the 49ers actually outplayed them a little bit, except in the last quarter and at the last in the overtime. I think the 49ers were suffering with attrition. They had a lot of injuries in some very key spots, and that probably got them toward the end there. They probably ran out of gas, too. They were tired. The other guys seemed to have a little more life in their step, spring in their step, so to speak. Anyway, great game overall. I wished it hadn't been so tight, but I can't complain about it for Super Bowl purposes. All right, I need your Bozo number and your name. I can't remember and where you're located there, over. KJ6MQI, K6MYC.
Yeah, Mike, no problem. I know it'll take me a while to kind of get on the books here, but it's 271271.
And your name?
Jared, Juliet Alpha Romeo Echo Delta.
Oh, Jared in Scotts Valley. Okay, I just haven't got that call sign connected with your location yet. Now I know who you are. Sorry about that. Now I know who you are. 271. You've been around a long time. You've just been inactive for a long time. I guess you weren't living in Scotts Valley for a long time, were you?
No, you're right. I was down in Santa Clara and, was trying to do terrestrial VHF down in a big bowl. It was kind of limiting. So now that I live up here at this different QTH, I'm hoping these antennas will get a little further and just let me do more work that I want to do. Over.
Well, I lived in 2 places in that big bowl, and I had good luck, but you have to put antennas up in a system that can do it. I used to work LA on a regular basis from Saratoga and then East San Jose. I had those 2 locations where I had pretty good systems, but could work LA consistently from either one. So you can get out of that bowl. There are certain directions where you're probably suffering a little bit, but even towards Sacramento, you can work the people over there and all the way up in Nevada and so on. Anyway, from where you are now, you should hear the Nevada stations. You have a clear shot across the valley to the Sierras?
Yeah, copy. I think I do. I need to actually do sort of an HAT.
You got a sign over here when I pointed.
I have available, but
I hear you, Jim. Hang on.
It was so great. I actually had an opportunity to clean off the driveway and get my 1296 M2 antenna also up. So hopefully I'll be able to check in on Tuesday night and see how that's working. Over. Yeah,
well, that'll be a good test of your location. Because if there's dirt in the way between you and me, it has a much greater effect on 1296 than it does here on 2 meters. Okay, very good, Jared. I'm sorry. Thank you for checking in and reminding me. And I might have to ask you a couple more times, and I'll get it. It's been so long since I worked anybody in Scotts Valley. Used to be quite a few hams up in there, and they've all gone away, or died, or passed away, or moved, or something. But great to hear you. KJ6MQI, K6MYC, 73.
Yeah, 73, Mike. Thanks.
Okay, now I've got 2 in the Bay Area, WB6JNN and KJ6MQI. Did I hear you, Jim, W6BQL?
Yeah, I think Jared probably had a better signal than I did. I was just commenting to you that Jared was S9 over here when I pointed at him. Don't know where he's pointed, but Jared, you probably copy me okay. I'm over here in Fremont and running high power, so I'm sure I'm getting up to you, but even though the antenna isn't pointed that way. Anyway, good game tonight, Mike. I know you watched it too. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Our team didn't win, but it was still a good game. Both teams really gave it their all, and it was close the whole time. So that was fun. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Yeah, Roger. There was no big controversies, no terribly bad calls. There was a couple of calls that were questionable, but very, very good, well-played game. Well called, and no magic in there. It was just good, hard, nose-to-nose football with some very clever coaches on both sides. I think the 49ers just ran out of people and gas at the end, and they hadn't planned on overtime. But who knows? They had the stamina on the week before when they played the Lions. Was it the Detroit? Who they played? Everybody was hoping that they would win, just for the sake that they'd never been there. But they did have the stamina on that game, but of course it didn't go into overtime. Anyway, they did have to make a big comeback, though. They were 17-0 at the half in that other game, and they came back from that. So they can do it. It's just that things just didn't roll right for them in a couple of cases. Anyway, good to hear you, and strong signal. Let's see who else is in the Bay Area here. K6MYC, Bozo Net.
KB6. What are you, Fox?
WA6AX.
Okay. I've got 2 calls that I recognize in 3-4 people, but I missed a couple of calls. WA6AXX. K6MYC for a quickie. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, no traffic here, nothing going on. I heard there was a game, but that's about it, I guess. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Okay, yes, there was a game. How about the other station? Was that, for God's sake, who was it? Was that you, Ross?
Yeah, it was K6QR, K6ERF.
6W91090.
Are you copying me at all there?
Yeah, I'm copying you. I'm just writing you down, Russ. K6ERF and KE6QI. Good evening, Gary. Go ahead, Russ, take it and shoot it to Gary, and then we'll go on. Go ahead.
Okay, Roger. Like everybody else, I watched the game and with great interest. And both teams played their best. It was really a good football game, and even my wife enjoyed looking at it. So, Gary, why don't you go ahead and take it there? Say good evening, Gary, and K6QR and Group K6ERF.
Howdy, Russ. Howdy, Mike. This is Kilo Echo 6 Quebec Romeo. Jennifer and I watched part of a football game and found it fairly interesting. And our big activity this weekend was the CQ WCX RTCY contest, where I think I made 264 contacts and really great band conditions on 10 meters. Europe was just swarming in here like nobody's business. Operated low power, 100 watts, and no packets, no assistance. So it was fun. Anyway, sounded good, Mike. K6NYC, K6QL.
Now, what day did you work the Europeans?
Today, this morning. This morning they were coming in really good. Yesterday, I don't think I heard any.
Yeah, it was just opposite from what you would expect. Today it was a blackout. Announced and noticed, but it seemed like it affected the lower frequencies more. I was working long path, and I had good communication, but other people were struggling to make the long path work this morning. Okay, on 10 meters, I heard 10, and 10 seemed to be very lively. In fact, it was still going when I walked out here this evening. There was still there's a net on 4. What the hell is it? 4? Oh, now I forgot the frequency. 458 or somewhere up there. And they called the X in all day long, apparently. But I didn't have time to listen to them. I was just busy with other stuff. Well, good to hear you, Gary. And we didn't hear you on 432 the other night, but I guess you were busy. We would. Ross says you have the 432 transmitter and the antennas are up and running with the Leo pack, but we didn't hear you there. Over.
Oh no, they're not up and running yet. They're put together, but I'm waiting for parts for my rotor and putting the tower up and several contacts through the 2-meter Yagi here into the ISS with duplexer using just the one antenna. I have checked into your net on 432 a few times, but it's really a stretch for me to get into your area on 432.
Okay, what were you using for an antenna before?
Just my 10-element 2-meter Yagi on 432, just working off a harmonic.
Well, what would you expect? It doesn't have a pattern off the front, over.
Yeah, I know that. I just don't have room to put any more antennas on this tower. It's maxed out.
Well, where are you putting the Oscar stuff?
Oh, a separate small roof tower that I'm going to have mounted on the ground alongside the house.
Okay, but you don't think that'll be any good for 432 terrestrial?
No, it'll be too low. It won't be up high in the air, and I'm in a low spot on the side of a hill here. So I'll give it a try. Definitely give it a try.
Okay, yeah, give it a try at least, and let's see how it works out there. Thanks, Gary. I moved the antenna a little bit and brought you up out of the noise. But let me go back to the Bay Area. There's still a couple of other stations there that we're calling. Okay.
Yes, I will point.
What was the call sign, Mike?
It was KE6QR.
Beautiful antennas too, by the way. K6NYC, KE6QR.
I'm sorry, we doubled with you a little bit down here. What was the last comment, Gary?
When I do get those, the Leo packed up, I will point them towards Fresno and try to work you on the net.
Yeah, you can also listen for the beacon. It's on during the daytime. The beacon on 432 is running about 25 watts. It's an egg beater. It's up about 55 or 60 feet. and it's on 432.275. All the beacons are on the same frequency in the sense of the fraction 275, 270, 144, 275, 432, 275, 222.275, and 1296, 275. Over.
Roger that. I'll put that down in my notes. Thanks for the information.
Alrighty. See you later. Now back to the Bay Area. Who is left? And I'm missing some people here. K6MYC Bay Area Bozo Net.
AB6SR.
WFC.
Okay, KB6WFC and AB6SR. Good evening, Stan. Take one.
Yeah, okay. I was asleep this time last week, so I missed it. Yeah, like Ed up on the hill behind me here. I didn't watch the game. No, never watched it. Nothing to report at all. You're a great signal here tonight, of course, as usual. Nothing else. Back to you. I thought I would check in at long last. K6MYC, AB6SR 807.
Yeah, do you check in on 432?
No, I don't have an antenna for 432.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I think I called for you, but I didn't hear you, and then I thought, gee, I don't know if I've ever heard him on 432. Very good, no problem. Go ahead, Mike. You got a good signal. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC, over.
K6MYC, KB6WFC. Yeah, enjoyable Super Bowl. It was a close one, and yeah, it was anyone's game, so enjoyed it very much. But otherwise, nothing new to report. And there goes the end. Okay, KB6WFC.
Oh my goodness, what a fade at the end there, eh? KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC. Perfect copy right up to the last four words, but we got you all okay. Yeah, it was a good game. Too bad the 49ers lost, but somebody has to lose a game like that. It's never over till it's over, and somebody wins and somebody loses, and it's an ebb and flow game. Anyway, I watched it to the end. That's why we're running late here. I didn't figure anybody would be in here because most people would be watching the game, so I didn't even come out here until the game was over, and it went into overtime, and both teams got the chance to score, and both teams did, but they ate up another half hour. So we're really running late tonight. All right, anybody else in the Bay Area, please? Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, Bozo Net, Bay Area.
Whiskey Bravo 6, Whiskey November, India.
WB6 WNI, good evening.
Yes, Gary, the other Gary, the one in San Jose. I wanted to let you know that, or if you're still listening, WB6JNN is on the other side of San Jose, and he comes in very loud over here. And you are as well, Mike. And yes, I also saw the game, and well, it's the way it goes. They played a good game, but like I said, nobody has to lose. Anyway, but nothing more, Mike. You're coming in extremely well, so I'll let you move along, but yeah, have a nice evening. K6MYC, W6WNI.
And what was your Bozo number? Was it 1090?
Yes, it is 1090.
Yeah, I heard you call in earlier, and I heard the 1090, and I thought I heard your call, but I wasn't sure, and I was just trying to clean out all the others, and then by the time I got to you, I forgot that I'd heard you. I don't think my brain is fully unfried from the game yet today. Anyway, good to hear you. Thanks for checking in, and one of these days your cohort will get on and blow your radio apart by getting on there. K6QFO. 73, Gary.
Yeah, 73, Mike, WB679.
Okay, now who else in the Bay Area before we move on? K6MYC Bozo Net.
K6USY 1079.
Oh, I got you in here. Good evening, Aaron. You noticed I turned the radio on early.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because I was at my in-laws' house and was listening to the first part of the net from my car.
Oh, great. Okay, well, at least you got the streaming going, I guess, and that was good. I turned the radio on early so you'd have a chance to do that in case you were busy with other things, Super Bowl stuff notwithstanding. Thanks, Aaron. K6USY, Southwest Fresno, K6MYC.
Yep, no problem, Mike. K6USY.
All righty. Anybody else in the Bay Area? K6MYC. Okay, nothing heard. Let me go up here to N6 Radio Oscar and W6SSW, N6RO, K6MYC.
N1PPP.
N1PPP. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Mike. How are you? And nobody else with me tonight.
Oh, just you. My goodness, for a change, huh?
Yeah, I guess everybody else watching the Super Bowl.
Well, we all watch the Super Bowl, but you can get on after.
That's what I said. I've been listening all along, and you sound really good.
Yeah, you're very good in here as well. I'm off of you by about 11 degrees, but it seems to be not making much difference. When you come in, you come in. It doesn't matter almost where I'm pointed. Anyway, great to hear you. And, of course, we'll look for you tomorrow night on 222. Thanks very much, Dave, and give my best to Kent when you talk to him. I never hear him anymore. He's got to do something for bigger antennas there to get out of that bowl, over.
Yes, he does. He's working on some stuff now.
Oh, good, good. Tell him I'm encouraging him. I'm poking him with a pointy stick, over.
Okay, I'll pass that along. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. N1PPP.
Okay, thanks, Dave. N1PPP, K6MYC now, N6RO. W6SSW, K6MYC.
Yeah, good evening, W6SSW, 793. And nice day today. Got probably in the 60s or so. I was able to mow the lawn now that it's dried out in a couple days, and and take care of some other yard work. So nice day up here in the Delta.
Yeah, we had a nice day too. Temperatures we're supposed to get to 70, but it never made 70. But it wasn't bad, and if it wasn't for the wind, we had a little bit of intermittent wind. I mean, not blazing wind, but 5 or 10 miles an hour. And boy, it was cold. It came in from the west, and it was cold. Even with the sun blasting on me, I was cold. I had a little long sleeve shirt on with fuzz in the lining, so it wasn't a light shirt. It was a heavy long sleeve shirt. It normally keeps me warm out there, but it was blowing right through that today. I was out chainsawing, just trying to clean up the last of a wood pile that has been bugging me. It's sort of blocking some traffic in a pathway, and I'm just trying to get it cut up as long as it's just sat there now for damn near a year, and I thought, well, I'll just start cutting it up. I'm cutting it up using the electric chainsaw, so I'm using sun power to cut up sun power wood form.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's nice. So then do you pack it in the trailer on the utility vehicle and bring it down closer to the house?
No, it's close to the house. It's right outside the chicken pen right now. I'm trying to decide. Right now I'm just stacking it up outside. It's gotten wet, so most of it's damp. And when I find a piece that has any promise of drying out, then I put it in the house, and I've got it on top of the stove right now drying. In fact, the top of the stove is loaded up with stuff. It just gets it gently warm and dries out the last of the moisture. So I'm saving some of it. Some of it I'm stacking. I'm going to put another. I've got 3 big stacks outside that are just in the rain, but they're outside. I've used up almost all the wood in the trailer, and it's dry, and there's no point in putting wet stuff in there. So the trailer's got one more good long night's worth of wood in it, and in the meantime, I'm just using up some other stuff that I'm cutting up and is dry enough to work with if I give it a couple of days in the house. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So I did a lot of wood cutting today. I'm just trying to clean the pile up and make my driveway a little wider in that area. The wood pile had encumbered fast traffic through there. Anyway, I haven't heard Ken tonight. Have you heard him?
Negative.
Is there a teletype contest this weekend?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought there was. Steve said something. I mean, not Steve, but Gary said he worked a contest. I thought he said a teletype contest.
Yeah, I'm here, Mike.
Oh, there you are. Well, what were you doing today?
Sleeping.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Well, I did 2 overnighters in the RTTY contest on 80 meters only. I didn't intend to, but I got sucked in. It happens to contesters.
Yes, it does. Happens to the best of us.
Well, I started out with, our normal plan is multi-multi, but we have didn't have the operators. One of our key operators passed away 2 weeks ago, and another's in the hospital, and another just returned from Clipperton and was tired, so we just couldn't do the multi, and so I did a single band 80. Now that we got the antenna turning, we had a tower party on Friday and got the new rotator installed, and the high point was working 40 JAs on RTTY at 80 meters.
Oh, okay, that's good. Well, I don't know. I guess according to you, you give me the idea that it's good. You could work 600 JAs on other bands and other modes, but if that's not their mode, then 40 is a good sign. Over.
Yeah, right. It's about double what I've ever had in a full-time effort, and this was sort of, I was back and forth between the TV room and the Radio Shack. I'd operate for 15, 20 minutes and then go back in and watch TV for half an hour. I did that both nights, but I was a lot more serious this morning, I should say. I stayed up till 6 both days to get the agents. So anyway, I'll recover sometime.
I stayed up late, but I was watching the Tucker Carlson Putin interview. That was a 2-hour thing, trying to get myself up to speed on understanding the Russian side of this whole thing.
Oh yeah, well I've been ignoring the news all weekend. I'll catch up later tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. All right, well thanks for staying up late with us here. I'm sure you watched the football game.
Oh yeah, I was watching my recording, which is about 30 minutes behind the real time, so it just finished for me. That's why I came out here.
Oh, okay. I didn't start the net until it was over, but I wasn't planning on it going into overtime, but it did, and of course it made the net be another half hour late.
Yeah, okay, well, we're all doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. All right, sir. Talk to you. We'll see you tomorrow night on 222 if you can wake up.
Yeah, roger. We pulled down that broken 20-meter 5-element KLM, and I'll be talking to Robert and get a new boom.
Okay, very good. Very good. I'll call Robert on Monday. I've asked him also what the status is on the 1296. I got people asking about the 1296 49 element. We call it the 49er.
Plastic originals, 45 years old, are still good. But I think for safety, I'm going to go with different mounts.
Yeah, what do you mean a different mount, a different boom to mass plate? I would change the plate out. It's probably work hardened as well.
No, boom to element, the insulators.
Oh, okay. Yeah, has that got the old cast epoxy ones, or were they ABS or Lexan?
I don't know. They were whatever came with the antenna 45 years ago.
Yeah, and I can't tell either vintage-wise exactly when we switched over. The first ones, all the HF ones were molded. We made a silicon mold. My dad made a wooden insulator, and we made a mold with silicon rubber, and then we poured epoxy into that mold. It was kind of crude, but it worked. They're really strong. I don't think we ever had any of them break. And but then we got the mold made to injection mold them. And I had some problems with the vendors. not using the Lexan that we provided. We provided virgin material, and we caught one vendor using regrind or mixing regrind with the virgin, and that's a no-no. Anyway, we finally ended up testing every insulator. I think I told you this the other day with two guys, two big 200-pounders, and we would bolt up or clamp up the insulator in a vise and on a piece of boom, and then the guys would run into the elements that were sticking out 6 feet on each side, and if it didn't break, it was good to go.
Right. Well, there are different batches, as you just said, and my 20-meter insulators have never broken. I lost a couple 10-meter years ago, but they're all different, I guess.
Now, those were much smaller, but they were also Lexan, or they should have been. And again, those were molded also originally out of epoxy. But of course, that was a very messy and slow process, so we got away from that as quick as we could get the molds made.
Yeah, well, I think
I hear you.
Two broke until the tower fell over, and then it broke everything.
Yeah, well, that always helps, doesn't it? I hear other people calling. I'm sure they're waiting to go here. Let me let you go. But I really appreciate the fact that it lasted as long as it did. And did you get a hold of DX Engineering to find out what they have? They should have the replacements.
Well, on the 20, we're just going to replace the boom.
Yeah, but you said you were going to replace the insulators on something.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, they DX Engineering, or do you have different mounts?
Or who?
Different attachments for the elements to the boom.
Now, we have some also, but ours are not cheap. None of it's cheap anymore, I think. But ours, you know what ours are two aluminum plates, and they capture a piece of fiberglass rod that's solid, and they don't break. They never break. But that's a totally different insulator, but it works the same, and it doesn't have to be no tuning adjustment for it or anything over.
Yeah, well, I'll consult my chief engineer, and we'll see what to do about that. Run N6RO.
Yeah, get Robert to quote one of our insulators for the 20, and then you can compare it with what they're charging at DX Engineering. You won't be disappointed with ours. They're machined aluminum, and they're really strong, and very easy to put on and stuff. They have saddles. There's two sides and two saddles, so it's very rugged. 7-3 Ken, K6MYC. Anybody else toward Sacramento, toward Discovery Bay before I go to Sacramento? K6MYC. Okay, KJ6KFB. I hear you there, Darren. Sorry for being so late here today. KJ6KFB. Whoops. Wrong direction. Pushing the wrong button here. It's coming around your way now. KJ6KFB. KJ6KFB. K6MYC, over.
Oh, there you're starting to find the spot. Just keep talking and talking and talking, and you might get me dialed right in.
No, I don't need you to keep talking. I know where to point for you, Darren, but I pushed the wrong button. I pushed the counterclockwise button instead of clockwise, over.
I'm with you. Yeah, it happens. What can I say? When did some shopping today and found myself a 36-foot boom, 5-element. I figured 20 meters, and I guess I'll have to play with that now.
Somebody else's. That must be I can't remember what the brand that is.
Well, these have cast aluminum pieces that hold the elements.
Yeah, I don't know which one that is.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm waiting for it because it's getting delivered. It's a monster.
You're not buying it new, are you?
Oh no, secondhand.
Yeah, okay. And they don't know what the brand is?
Offered to deliver, so I said sure.
Yeah. What? And the person that's selling it to you doesn't know what the brand is?
He knows nothing about it. He purchased a property, and it was on the property.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're getting it cheap because he doesn't know what it is.
He had people out there actually disassembled all of this stuff, and the guy was to come back, and he never came back.
I'll be darned. So, do you have a tower to put this on?
I should have one soon. He's probably going to deliver that too.
It could be a high gain 205B. I think their 5-element was on a 36-foot boom. Just trying to remember. My 5-element, the KLM, was on a 42-foot boom, and so was our M² on a 42-foot boom. And I don't think we made one shorter. We make a 4-element on a 34-foot boom. So, anyway, good luck with it. Hopefully you got a tower that can hold it.
I anticipate I will have. Like I said, that's coming in that delivery bucket.
All right. Very good. Well, I'll let you go, and we'll go and see if I can find Bill. He did not show up on the net this morning.
He's sandbagging. He's ready in the wings. Yeah, he's had a rather challenging day. I'll let him fill you in what he wants to. KJ6, KFB.
Okay, 7-3, Darren. KJ6 KFB, K6MYC to KO6KD.
Yeah, good evening, Mike, in the group, KO6KD. I normally would be on the phone right now, but Mom's in the hospital, so that's why I'm not. But it's been a busy day, and I'm sorry I was not around for the net. And anyway, it's just been a bad weekend, and on top of that, the Niners lost, so in a really ridiculous way. So at any rate, I'll go ahead and say good evening, 7-3 to everybody out there, number 776 checking in, and if you guys will be around in the morning, hopefully I'll be able to be there and say something then. But hopefully you're copying me now. Very nice segment tonight. Very good stable band conditions. K6MYC on the Bozos. KO6KD.
Yeah, good, Bill. Yeah, we missed you this morning. Conditions were not as good today. I thought you'd be in there yesterday. The conditions were spectacular yesterday. You would have had no problem. And, of course, Bob's got his collinear dipoles up, and today he had the reflectors on. But it was a down day for propagation for him, so he didn't have the best results. But I think it wasn't because the antennas weren't working. They have front to back. I know that. I can hear that. But we can't rotate it. But he's weaker when he goes to the collinear than he does on the beam. So we could tell the difference there. Anyway, but I didn't wake up till 9:15, and they didn't get in the shack until 9:30, and everybody was signing. So I really blew it. Anyway, 7-3. We'll see you in the morning. I stayed up till 12 o'clock listening to the Tucker Carlson Putin interview. It was interesting. It has some questions related to it and problems, but it was interesting and informative in many ways. Over.
Yeah, I have not seen that yet. I want to watch it, and I would have very much liked to have been, if nothing else, just listening to see what the conversation went and what direction it went yesterday and today with some of the latest developments. But now perhaps we can discuss some of those tomorrow if you feel up to it. Okay, Mike, I know you got to run. Catch you in the morning, 7-3, KO6KD.
Yeah, and we got John in here, or has he still got rotator problems?
Well, I'm here, K6MYC in the group, KR6MR, Bozo 759. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, hi, John. Good to have you back with the antenna fixed. Was the rotor broken, or was it just spun on the mast?
The motor died. The actual motor. Long story short, I've got another rotator that I rebuilt and put that one up, and it's working just fine. I had a water issue on 1.2. I had water inside the connector housing, not the connector interface, but inside the connector itself. So I think I got that fixed, and everything should be up and running for the next rain and windstorm.
Okay, very good. Water inside the folded dipole?
The No, inside the connector on the hard line. There's nice new connectors that I had purchased, and the O-rings, I put it all together real nice. There was water inside of it.
Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't have the O-ring in the face of the end connector down in there next to the inner sleeve. Over.
Oh no, the O-rings are in there, and I had encapsulating heat shrink on the end of the connector, between the connector and the hard line body.
Okay. Well, who knows? Sorry about the water issue, but that sure will destroy you on 1296, no question.
Oh, definitely, but it looks good now.
Okay, very good. I'll let you go. Sorry we're late, but I didn't start the net until the Super Bowl was over. Over.
Yeah, well, I recorded, I watched half of it. I got to the halftime. Who the hell is Usher? I never heard of him.
Who is who?
The halftime people. I never heard of Usher before.
Well, I said the same thing, but I just chucked it off to the fact that I'm too old now.
Oh, thanks. I guess I'm there too. Anyway, I'll let you go finish the net, KR6MR.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the halftime show because to me it's just noise and a bunch of people jumping around and screaming, and I just can't stand it anymore. My ears are not good enough to hear music, and everything is off pitch, so I just don't hear it well. So I didn't agonize myself with it. I did other things at halftime. 7-3, John. I'll take a look for Reading and see if they're in there, and then we'll move on. Take care, and we'll look for you, of course, tomorrow night on 6, and then 1296 on Tuesday. Maybe things will be better. Everything seems to be working here. I had a nice contact with the couple of fellows down in Los Angeles, K6TSK and K6ZMW, on Friday night. They have a net down there that starts at 7:30, and then they look north at 7:45 to 8 o'clock, and then again at 8:30. And I worked them easily on sideband for quite some time, so that was shows my system is still working on 1296. 73. Now, Reading, Charlie, November 80. Reading. Kilowatt 6, Mike Yankee Charlie, Bozo Net, over. KJ6 what?
Alpha Julia 6 Quebec Lima, Bozo 1031.
You're back again, Jim, but you're now off the back of the beam, and I've got no noise in this direction. KJ6KK in Porterville, you're back now? Go ahead, Jim. Maybe I got the wrong one. Come on in again, the station that just called in. I thought I heard KJ6KK, but maybe I have somebody else. Go ahead.
How about Alpha Juliet 6 Queen Lima?
Well, it could have been, but I don't think it sounded like a KK at the end.
It was me, Mike. AJ6QS.
Okay, Alpha Juliet 6 Queen Lima. Good evening, George. Sorry about that. I think I got you tangled up with the other station. Yeah, and I've got some noise in here. This neighbor's inverter is acting up, and I'm pointed right through it at the moment. Over.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, I understand. That's good. And I don't want to hold you up to this late, and Super Bowl was just, and I just wanted to check in before you go over to Reading. Over.
What did you say, Frank?
He just wanted to check in before you turn to Reading. Over.
I'm already turned toward Reading. He's in the same direction as Reading is. That's okay. We got you, George. And you said something else, I thought, related to the Super Bowl. Go ahead.
No, I was just mentioning that it's late, and I don't want to hold you guys up, and because you still have to do Nevada. So, 773, and good evening to you, Mike. Good.
Yeah, Roger. Well, we're late because I started late. I waited until the Super Bowl was over, and of course it went into overtime, which took another half an hour. So that's why I didn't get on. That's why I'm dragging late here. 7-3, George. Thanks much, and we'll try to take more time next time. AJ6 Queen Lima. Comanche. No, Comanche. What the hell's the name of that community?
It's Cameron Park. Cameron Park. Over.
Cameron Park. I always get you tangled up with Lake Comanche there, Cameron Park. Very good. 7-3, George. Now I'm standing by for Reading, if you're still in there, guys. I know it's late. KD6 Sugar Whiskey and KO6HS, K6MYC. Over. I hear somebody. Any copy, Frank? I didn't get it. I've got some power line or this inverter noise that's bothering me. It's grinding and crunchy, and I think Aaron turned my noise blanker on, and it's making now the audio is distorted. So pretty almost better off without the blanker. Try it again. Maybe it'll come up here. Hey, KD6 Sugar Whiskey, KD6SW. KO6HS, K6MYC, over.
All right, this is KD6 Shortwave, ready for 145.
Okay, got you 145 that time. Boy, it's really marginal tonight. Weak on top of everything else, so I don't know whether I'm not pointed right here or what here, but I can move the antenna a little bit more and see if that helps. Anyway, good evening. And I'm sorry I'm late here, but you heard me say I didn't get on the net until the Super Bowl was over. Boy, I'm just not getting any copy at all. It's really poor tonight. That's the worst I've ever heard you. Any copy at all, Frank? Yes, Frank's gone.
I just got back.
Oh, okay.
Who's calling in? Who am I listening for?
Oh, Reading. I hear it is KD6SW. I heard his number 145, so it's him in there, but I just can't read it with this inverter noise here. So make another transmission, Rich, and maybe the signals will come up, and then we can take a standby and see if we can hear Jerry. KD6SW and the Bozo Group, K6MYC. Go ahead, Rich. Just terrible copy. Heard the word stronger, but it was stronger earlier. Yeah, something's happened here with the path. It doesn't want to come back. Anyway, let's see if I can get anything from Jerry and write you guys in here. KO6HS, Jerry, make some noise. Let's see if I can get any piece of you there. KO6HS, K6MYC, over.
Roger. KO6HS 230. It came up just a little bit there, but yeah, you did take a big fade. Path faded really well. Very good fade, and it doesn't want to come back, but we'll give it a try here as you came up just a little bit. KO6HS 230, over.
Oh, very good. I heard you drive into my driveway here. Now you're loud. We caught it just at the wrong time tonight. Now you're good. KO6HS, good evening, Jerry. Great signal. And I'm sure now it'll come up for Rich as well. But did you guys hopefully enjoy the Super Bowl, even though we didn't win and the 49ers didn't win, but it was a good game. KO6HS, K6MYC, over. Okay, down in the noise again. Did you get anything, Frank?
Yeah, he was there first just talking about the game, and then right at the end, he just faded away.
Yeah, boy, the QSB is terrible. Well, 73's Jerry, and Rich, I'll look for you, Rich, tomorrow night on 6 meters. We'll look for you tomorrow night on 6 meters, Rich. KD6SW. KD6 sopping wet. K6MYC standing by for you, Reg. Over. Wow. I don't hear him at all.
Over.
I don't hear him.
Yeah, he was in there. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but he's over and he's done.
Okay, 7-3, Reg. See you tomorrow night. See you tomorrow night on 6 meters, so hopefully. K6MYC clear. Anybody else before we go to Nevada? Don't hear anybody else. It's interesting. As soon as I get away from that inverter, all my noise goes away. You can probably hear it on the streaming. N7WT, KE7UQL, KD6BQ. I heard KD6BQ here the other day on 40 meters, but the copy was so terrible I couldn't get him. I don't know whether he was running real low power or what he was, but I heard him on 40. I thought, I asked him a question, was he able to get to the shack, but the copy was so poor I couldn't even tell. So he's at least getting on the air from someplace in his location there. KD6, KD6BQ, N7WT, KE7UQL, KJ7 Whiskey India. No, that's not right. What the hell's Dale's call? I forgot Dale's call. K6MYC calling and listening. It's so late, nobody's up there anymore. Can you guys give me, Frank or Rob, can you give me today's date, GMT-wise?
Yeah, 2:12, and it's 5:13 GMT.
No, we're not that late, are we? Well, I think we must have propagation up there, but sometimes Larry doesn't make it. Sometimes he goes to bed. He may have watched the Super Bowl and then just petered out. Anybody in Nevada? Nevada. Delta Mike 08, Delta Mike 09. QRZ Bozo Net, K6MYC calling and listening. Boy, nothing. Rob, you want to go down and see if you can get Eddie?
Okay, turn that way.
I'll go with you. Frank, we going to see you tomorrow down here, or where are you?
No, tomorrow I'm here with Jen helping her do her stuff, and then I'll be down Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to go do battle with the bank in the morning because we deposited that last check up here at Oakhurst, and they put a hold on it.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. They haven't done that before, so I just don't know.
No, it's just stupid. They got no business doing that crap. It's a legitimate business check.
Yeah, the thing is, when you first open the account, they do that to you, but the account's a couple of years old, and I cash this same check, a couple times a month, so come on.
They're playing games. I'm telling you, the banks are in trouble.
Do we need to still get that box hooked up for the Yazoo?
No, it's here. Everything's here and ready for work.
I still have to hook it up.
Oh, it has to be hooked up, yeah. Frank hasn't been able to get here for any number of reasons, weather notwithstanding, and then a job that came up. And then Saturday he had to go down and pick up a tower that we bought over.
No problem. Worst case scenario, I'll come up on next Monday when I'm off work.
Yeah, well, we can get it done Tuesday when Frank's here.
Yep, just let me know and we'll play it by ear. I just know I won't have time until next Monday. My wife has to go to a shower on Saturday and I get to watch the kids.
Roger. Go ahead. ahead, Rob.
KE6BK, Eddie, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KE6BK, this is KM6SR with K6MYC, standing by. KE6BK, Eddie, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? Over.
Did you ever get any feedback from Rick on what's going on down there? Apparently he's in an upheaval mode. Maybe the big D is happening.
Rick, Ben, you mean, or what?
No, Rick, KB6RQU.
No, all I know is what he told you tonight. I was listening, heard that, over.
Yeah. Obviously, it's private. He doesn't want to disclose, and I'm not trying to press him. I'm just trying to find out if it was serious or health issues, but he wouldn't even give me that. So it doesn't sound like health. It sounds like other issues. Hopefully, it's not a financial collapse or something.
Well, he kind of made it seem like he had some other things he needed to be working on. So, that kind of means something there. Over.
Yeah, I didn't get that impression.
I could re-listen to it on the stream, huh? Over.
Yeah, you could. I'm not sure you'll get much, but yeah. All right. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go in and get in front of the fire and get warm again. It's kind of chilly out here. I got a cat sitting on my lap. Believe it or not, Sparky is on my lap, Frank.
Well, every once in a while Sparky gets that way. Once in a while he comes and jumps off me, and until he gets his 10 or 15 minutes, he won't leave.
Yeah, I know. He's a funny cat. He hasn't been sleeping with me lately. He won't get up on the bed and lay next to me like he used to. He used to lay there, and I would pet him until I would fall asleep, and he would cuddle right up against my legs. But he's not doing that anymore. Partly because he's upset when he's in that end of the house. They're all worried about the dogs, and both dogs have been here all weekend, so they're perturbed. Now the dogs will be gone for at least a couple of weeks now, so hopefully they'll get back to normal here a little bit. And Abby's back. He's in good shape. I can't see anything wrong with Abby.
Well, that's good. That's good. When I get down there, I'll take a look. That's good news because I wasn't liking what I did see. Over.
Yeah, okay. But it seems to be minimal.
Well, if it hasn't gotten worse, if it hasn't gotten to the point where you can see it now, that means it's getting better.
It must be, yeah. Okay.
Hey, Mike, you going to swing by the Bay Area and get late chicks and late check-in?
No, because we got pretty much everybody in the Bay Area. So I'm just going to go QRT for tonight. We'll see them tomorrow night on 222. And by the way, Frank, I don't know if you were in here, but Jim was talking about sending the transverter over, the 222 transverter. I told him just ship it to the plant. Over.
Yeah, that's fine. Any way we want to do it, that's fine by me.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Mike, I sent out some letters today to 17 of the Southern California guys and 17 of the guys up here, over.
Oh, very good. So, it'll be interesting to see if we see any new check-ins there. We've got a couple of new check-ins. KJ6, for heaven's sake, I keep forgetting his call. And Jared there in Scotch Valley is an old member, 271, but he's finally settled into that new location in Scotch Valley, and that looks like he's going to be a regular here. The guy that we missed tonight was KB6LEE. He has something wrong seriously with that quad he built. I think it's not a problem with the antenna. I think he's got a piece of feed line that's got 20 dB of loss or a short in it. I couldn't hear a trace of him, and he's very loud on 2. They tested it, and at least locally with he and Tom, he said they had a real nice tight pattern. So the pattern's there, but it's not any stronger than his ground plane that's vertically polarized to Tom inside the house, so you can tell the quad's not working.
Yeah, that's no good at all.
Yeah, that's what I said. So clearly there's an issue. I don't know if Tom can load him in some feed line, just something else to get on there, a short piece or something. Get on there and see if we can hear the beacon. When I couldn't hear him at all, not a trace of a signal, and he's booming in here on 2. It tells me right away he's got something wrong. I don't think there's anything seriously wrong with the antenna unless he's done something screwed up on the feed. But how can you screw up feeding a quad loop? Just split the coax and feed it. Anyway, good evening, guys. We're a little short of people here tonight. I got 30, give or take. Anyway, good night all.
Good night, Mike. K6USY.
And we'll see you in the morning for a few minutes around 40 meters, Frank. I guess you were in there earlier this morning with Rolf and Billy. I didn't wake up till 9:15. I woke up 7:15, and I said, well, I'm not getting up at 7:15 to get up by 8:30. So I just rolled over and went back to sleep, and next thing I know, Matt's waking me up. He says, Dad, are you still alive? You're not. It's 9:15. You're not awake yet.
Yeah, I remember doing that a couple times when I woke you up late in the day about a year ago, and I had the same thing. I was like, are you alive, or are you funning with me, or what here? Yeah, I got on and talked to Bob and Billy and Rolf for a few minutes and waited around for you for a while, and then I had to get out and get busy. You know, and I wanted to get it done, you know, because it meant shutting all the power down, all the solar down, having everything, you know, shut down batteries down to do all this stuff, and then you got to bring it up one inverter at a time and program them, and then once everything's running, you bring it up in steps. But it's all running good, so everything worked out okay. Over.
Oh, that's good. We had good sun today. I charged up the last 2 days to 100%. Sun.
See, I had good sun starting the day, but like I've been getting in the afternoon, you know, from about noon on, I'm semi-clouded over and barely enough solar to. It's still charging, but it's not charging hard, and you know, but you know, solar panels will solve that problem. And now with this new inverter, I can now take 15,000 watts of solar, so I'm set for all that on that end. And yeah, my battery's only got to 71% today. Over.
Okay. And by the way, I got my PG&E bills. They're very confusing. Yeah, Matt was just going through terrible mental strife trying to give me the answers that I was asking him for. As it's, you know, how those damn bills are. There's different information on different pages, and your true up is this and this and that and everything. Anyway, I finally had him divide the price, and the house is still drawing way more than the well. We had a $330 bill, or $340 worth of electricity used this in the month of January, which doesn't make any sense to me. But we did have some dark days, but I wasn't on for that long, and most of the time I got charged up by the sun. Anyway, the point is, we divided the hours by the amount of money, and it came out to 39, between 36, sometimes 36, and sometimes 39 cents a kilowatt hour. That doesn't jive with the 20, with the 30, with the 50 that they wrote on that note that we got back in September. Remember when you and I met with those other guys, we had that note from them and said it's going to be 50 cents a kilowatt hour, and there's no premium time or anything. And now they're saying I'm using premium time, and there was this much at premium time and this much at some other time, and they supposedly canceled all that crap a long time ago. So what I'd like to do is get you and I together on the phone with the solar guys over there. They're in the Bay Area. And sit down with the bill and have them explain to us what the hell they're doing. You can't get nothing out of that bill that's meaningful. Over.
Yeah, roger that. It is just you pull your hair out just trying to read through the thing and figure out what they're saying. I know because we've been down that road, so I understand what Matt was going through there.
Well, what he did is he wrote down what he divided. When he divided it out, it came to 36 and sometimes 39 cents kilowatt hour. We had $175 worth of bill in January for the water, and 340 or something electrical for the house. And it just doesn't seem like I could possibly have used 950 kilowatts, 960 kilowatts of power in January. Over.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you got to keep one thing in mind. We are not backfeeding the grid now. So I can, maybe we should turn that back on so at least when you get to full, you're backfeeding the grid. Over.
Well, we could, but it's a minuscule amount. It's 8 cents versus 39. It's 5 times less than what we're paying for. Hardly worth the effort.
Yeah, Roger. Well, we'll look at things and we'll see what we can't figure out.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that both bills are in December and January came together in the same envelope. Go figure. I think PG&E is just a little bit out of whack.
I've known that for years.
Yeah, well, no, I've never had this issue before with them. And usually they usually tell you what your bill is. How much is your bill this month? And then the true-up is separate. That's an add-on thing and then of course there's a service charge. Each bill, if I paid it on a monthly basis, they said just pay $22. Well, it's not $22. I used $300 for the electricity. I want to know, what the hell's going on here? Anyway, we'll sort it out. I used less electricity in December. Go figure. Something in the 200 window kilowatt hours in December, and we used 100 kilowatts more of energy in January, and I don't know how in the hell we did that.
Well, haven't we been a lot more cloudy and more stormy, and so not as much created in January? We had a lot of sun in December.
Yeah, but I mean, Jesus, that's normal rate. That's my normal rate, as if I'd never had done all this crap. If you multiply $340 by 12, it's $3,600 with a true-up.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's just crazy to have a $340 bill a month when you're hardly using it. I mean, I got to afford it. It's not that. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, enough of that. I will get off my bandwagon here, but Jesus. Okay. Anyway, 7-3, Rob. Good night, all. Good night, Aaron. If you're still listening, anybody else is still listening, we'll get out of here. And we'll see you guys on whatever bands tomorrow night that you have. M6SRR, W6BBS, K6USY, and others. K6MYC going away.
Okay, Mike. I show 32 tonight. Are you that close?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
All right, sounds good. I'll post it, and be anxious to see if we get any feedback or anything from those letters. Over.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I sent out 17 from northern and 17 for the south. Over.
Yeah, that's what you said. Okay, got it. Well, it'll probably take a couple of weeks to get some response. Some of those we'll never hear from because they don't even read their email like me.
Yeah, I did get a couple of bounce backs, so I took a look at it, and we had an old one. I was able to get it more current on QRZ, so I resent it to those guys. So we definitely had 17 that went out in each place that had to have been received. Over.
Very good. Very good. Thanks for the effort, Rob. Hopefully it'll pay off.
Yep, I thought I was busy now. Just wait, huh? Okay, 73 Mike, K6MYC, KM6SR, and 73 you there, Frank, W6BBS, KM6SR.
Good night, guys.
Good night, all. W6BBN.
Alrighty, good night to all those watching on YouTube. K6USY.